Hello everyone. Welcome to Malaysia's Sustainable Development Journey, Challenges, Strategies, Initiative and International Engagement Forum. My name is Ainul Munirah binti Abdul Syukur and I am a Part 5 DPA student at UiTM Seremban 3 and I will be serving as your moderator today. You'll be hearing a presentation from our panelists. Our first panel is Nurul Husna binti Hamis, our second panel is Nur Shazira, and our third panel is Nur Nabila. Before we get started, I wanted to take a few minutes of your time. I would like to share to all of you about Malaysia's sustainable development journey in the year of 2000 until 2015. So, the first one, we have MDG, Millennium Development Goals. In September 2000, the Millennium Development Goals were formally introduced with the aim of improving the world for the future millennium. MDG has 8 goals, 18 targets, and 48 indicators that need to be met. 189 nations have signed this declaration and Malaysia was included as well. The MDGs were implemented between the year 2000 and 2015 and Malaysia achieved success in implementing them. Next, we have 9th and 10th Malaysia Plan. Malaysia has taken sustainable development into account in its policy in accordance with the 9th Malaysia Plan, which covers the years of 2006 to 2010. Following the introduction of Islam Hadari during Tun Abdullah Badawi's governance, the government's commitment to striking a balance between the environment and development needs was founded on the 9th principle of environmental stewardship. The Malaysian government has prioritized green tourism and the green economy in the 10th Malaysia Plan. Furthermore, during the year of 2000 until 2015, the Sustainable Development Principle was portrayed in the National Vision Policy (NVP) from the year of 2001 to 2010 by promoting environmental protection, maintaining economic growth, and fostering a more equal society. Malaysia Vision 2020 seeks to integrate economic, political, social, spiritual, psychological, and cultural aspects of development. The 8th Malaysia Plan, which covered the years of 2001 until 2005, served as the foundation for the NVP. Additionally, in the year of 2015 until present, we are now moving towards Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. On September 25, 2015, Malaysia took part in the United Nations General Assembly (UNGA) in New York and adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. During the United Nations Sustainable Development Summit, former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Najib bin Tun Abdul Razak pledged the nation's commitment to implement the SDGs. At the current time, the 12th Malaysia Plan has been implemented. The 12th Malaysia Plan takes positive steps by emphasizing green growth, renewable energy, conservation, sustainable transportation, and social inclusion. In total, Malaysia's successful sustainable development was aided by comprehensive development plans, the inclusion of various parties, and collaboration with various stakeholders. It has been demonstrated that Malaysia's sustainable development success is due to long-term planning, as evidenced by its 5-year Malaysia Plan, which has been planned since the country's independence. We are now moving to our forum session. So, for the first question, I would like to ask Ms. Husna. So, Ms. Husna, can you share with us what are the challenges and obstacles faced by Malaysia in achieving sustainable development goals?
There are 3 challenges of the Malaysia Sustainable Development. The first one is pertinent to a problem. The second one is limitation use of the administrative data and survey data. And the last one is unemployment and poverty. Pertinent to the problem. Sometimes economic activities such as agriculture may destroy green forests. As a result, Malaysia will lose its stunning landscape, which may draw tourists from other nations. Future generations will negatively impacted by this situation. However, since Malaysia has borders with Brunei, Singapore, and Indonesia, so it will tangentially benefit from their endeavors. The second one is limitation use of administrative data and survey data. Big data is significant for the official statement. Mobile data, social networking, and business transaction are some examples of large data sources. For instance, The location of the population, which is crucial during a disaster like a flood, can be determined, so the government may determine the population affected. Geographic information systems are now being used by DOSM to create a new SDG indicator proportion of the rural populations living within 2 km of an all-season road. The last one is unemployment and poverty. It is a common knowledge that people who live in the industrial countries have better financial circumstances than people who reside in underdeveloped countries. For instance, there may be a wealth gap between some rural communities where job opportunities may be scarce or poorly paid. The World Bank estimates that by the year 2020, slightly over 90% of people worldwide will have access to energy. However, the significant gaps in the poorest countries where a significant portion of the populace lacks access to power. From here, we can see that achieving sustainable development is not an easy thing.
Thank you, Ms. Nur Husna, our first panel, for your sharing. Next question is for Ms. Shazira. So, Ms. Shazira, can you share with us what are the strategies by the government in balancing economic growth, environmental protection, and social well-being?
Now I will share about the strategies that government do in order to balancing economic growth, environmental protection, and social well-being. So the first strategy is National Green Policy. This policy aims to promote the use of green technology to drive economic growth while minimizing environmental impact. For instance, encouraging industries to adopt renewable energy sources or energy efficient that practices to help in reducing the carbon footprint and promote sustainability. And the second strategy is education and healthcare access. Malaysia has implemented multiple programs aimed at improving healthcare accessibility and education standards. Based on the idea of universal health coverage, Malaysia has been successful in offering high quality, easily accessible, and cost effective medical care that is comparable to that of more industrialized nations. So, the last strategies that government do is conservation and biodiversity preservation. Malaysia has established protected areas such as national parks and wildlife reserve in an effort to preserve its unique biodiversity. For example, the Hearts of Borneo projects works to preserve and manage forests in a sustainable manner, safeguarding endangered species and preserving natural equilibrium. Thank you. So that's all about the strategies.
Thank you for sharing, Ms. Shazira. We'll now turn our attention to our third panel. Ms. Nabila, Ms. Shazira have already shared the government strategies for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. So, Ms. Nabila, are there any government initiatives aimed at achieving the Sustainable Development Goals?
Okay, so from my opinion, there are three types of initiative that have been implemented by Malaysian Sustainable Development, which are Malaysian National Development Policy, which are NDP, the 9 Malaysia Plan, which is known as Rancangan Malaysia ke-9, and also Malaysian Vision 2020, which is known as Wawasan 2020. Okay, so for the first initiative, which are Malaysian National Development Policy, which is known as NDP, it started with an eradication program during the year 1993 by the Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad. It aims at eradicating poverty as well as to promote economic, social, and cultural progress through sustainable development. For Malaysia, NDP has been the main policies in guiding the economic policy for more than 60 years. Through NDP, poverty rate has been declined, and also economic and social infrastructure have been growing well through sophistication. Okay, so for the second initiative that have been implemented, which are the 9 Malaysia Plan, which is known as Rancangan Malaysia ke-9, it was implemented by the Prime Minister Datuk Seri Abdullah Ahmad Badawi, which is known as PAKLA, during the year 2006 to 2010. Environmental Performance Index study ranks Malaysia as 9 over 133 countries based on efforts taken to reduce environmental stress on human health and encourage protection. However, there are two main pressures that lead to unsustainability which threatening Malaysia, which are known as land use change and also pollution. So during this plan, environment stewardship should be continued to be promoted to make sure there is a balance between development and also environment. So there are two aspects of sustainable environment issue, which are practice of natural management of the environment, which is known as soil, water, and also marine sources. Okay, so the last initiative that have been implemented by Malaysian Sustainable Development are Malaysian Vision 2020, which is known as Wawasan 2020. So this plan was implemented by the Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad also. For this plan, by the year 2020, Malaysia is expecting to turn from a developing country to a development country. However, when COVID-19 appears, everything has changed. The life of Malaysian and also economic of Malaysian have been impacted by the MCO. This is because workers from Malaysia are working from home. NGOs also have assisted in supplying face masks to the Malaysian citizens, as well as to educate them about COVID-19. Other than that, schools and universities also have been closed during the MCO. So, government have implemented a new initiative for students to study, which are open and distance learning, which is known as ODL. So, in the end, most of the people in Malaysia have forgotten and also uninterested about the Malaysia Vision 2020, which is known as Malaysia Wawasan 2020.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nabila. I found that the strategies and initiatives are quite related to each other. Both of them shared the same goals in achieving SDGs. Alright, we are almost at the end of the session, but since we have some time left, I would like to share with you all about Malaysia's international engagement. Malaysia has engaged internationally in achieving sustainable development goals. So, one of the engagement is APEC. The Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation is a regional economic forum founded in the year of 1989 to capitalize on the Asia-Pacific region's growing interdependence. The 21 members of APEC seek to increase regional prosperity by promoting balanced, inclusive, sustainable, innovative, and secure growth, and by accelerating regional economic integration. APEC facilitates the movement of goods, services, investment, and people across borders. The Prime Minister, Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, attended the 30th APEC Economic Leaders Meeting, AELM, in San Francisco. The Prime Minister's presence reflects Malaysia's proposed active engagement during the 30th APEC Economic Leaders Meeting and will contribute to efforts on addressing critical regional issues, primarily within the Asia-Pacific. These events offered the Prime Minister with an opportunity to articulate Malaysia's perspective on the current global economy and to exchange views on pressing regional issues with APEC leaders, influential CEOs, and successful entrepreneurs. Malaysia has also engaged in TIP, Trafficking in Person. The 2022 UNODC Global Report on Human Trafficking is the seventh of its kind, as mandated by the General Assembly in 2010 United Nations Global Plan of Action to combat human trafficking. This edition of the Global Report provides a snapshot of the COVID-19 pandemic's trafficking patterns and flows. The report's main focus in this edition is on trends in detection and conviction, which shows significant changes when compared to historical trend since UNODC began collecting data in 2003. Malaysia's involvement in TIP helps to observe and to curb trafficking issues. According to Pridep Nambia on Free Malaysia Today News, a US diplomat has praised Malaysia's effort to combat human trafficking, which has seen it secure and improve ranking in the US Department of State Trafficking in Person TIP report of 2023. Lastly, in environmental aspect, Malaysia has engaged with LA21. In accordance with the declaration of the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in 1992, Malaysia has taken the initiative to support Agenda 21, the global action plan towards sustainable development for the 21st century. The LA21 program, which is Agenda 21 at the local level, emphasizes the involvement and role of local authorities, PBT, in implementing sustainable development at the local level, as stated in the 28th chapter of Agenda 21. The local Agenda 21 was implemented by Shah Alam City Council MBSA. In order to implement local Agenda 21, the Shah Alam City Council MBSA has developed 5 action plans. The first one is improving environmental education in Shah Alam residents, strengthening Shah Alam residents' neighborhood, improving the solid waste management system, developing a dynamic and competitive urban economy, and Shah Alam Bandaraya Selamat. Shah Alam City Council MBSA has initiated an electronic inventory system called ePulsar to record trees and landscape assets in the city. So that's the end of our forum session. Thank you to the panelists for your sharing, and thank you to our audience for your attention and involvement. Thank you and have a nice day.